Thanks for inviting us. We are very happy to be back. Zeiss, I hope most of you have heard about it, have heard about our great company. Let me start with everything we do at Zeiss. Everything is impacting the world in a positive way and is impacting you. You might say, well, another HR presentation, but I will explain to you why in a second. So why are we here? Because we want to bring this great heritage of Zeiss to the digital future with great people like you, digital natives helping our company to move forward, with great corporations like with you, Bernd, and with great products. That's what we want to build, and that's going to be explained to by Sabrina. But let me first say that's Sabrina. She was actually on your side 1 or 2 years ago, helping us a lot, and now joined Zeiss. Very happy to have you at Zeiss. And my name is Matthias. I'm heading the Digital Innovation Partners also here in Munich, because we think Munich is also a great place to help Zeiss going forward. Zeiss has a long history that we want to bring to the future. I could show you all the numbers and revenue and euros and all of this, but you will see here that we started with a microscope and now moved on all the way to semiconductor, medical, microscopy, and metrology, which you will talk about. But make it more tangible, and I learned from Bernd, you always have to talk about customers, personas, customer journeys. So let's take your persona. You as a person getting up in the morning and learning about Zeiss, or living your life, and then you might see something about Zeiss. Because you get up in the morning, probably the first thing you do is you look at your iPhone or Android phone, then you move on, take the tram or take the bus, take the car, put on your glasses in between, maybe in between take some medicine, eat some chocolate in the afternoon after long discussions, and at night you might watch a movie on Netflix. All of this has been enabled by Zeiss. All high-end telephones, be it Apple, be it Samsung, be it whatever, have seen Zeiss, because all high-end chips on Earth have been produced by lithography enabled by Zeiss. Chocolate tastes so good because we help it, and I'm happy we help making it taste good, and I'm happy to explain to you why. And in the evening, you might want to see a movie, and our consumer optics division or consumer product division, they have won a couple of Oscars, technology Oscars. So all of this is enabled by Zeiss, and that's why I love working for this company, and I hope Sabrina as well. Before we go there, we have done this before. We work with metrology with you guys, with medical, metrology, medical department, helping you see better, and now metrology again, and that's what Sabrina will explain to you.
Thank you, Matthias, for the introduction. As you were saying, I'm very happy to be standing here this time as a customer for the first time after working so many times as a developer, as a coach here. But this year's project is going to be with Zeiss IMT, as Matthias was saying. But yeah, and IMT stands for industrial metrology, as he was saying. But what does it mean? Like, you might be asking, what is industrial metrology, right? So you guys might know that Zeiss is famous for the optical lenses, the famous high-quality camera lenses, but we also produce very precise and sensitive measuring machines, which ensure the quality in the production. So we have customers all around the world working in multiple industries. So, for example, aerospace, energy, medical, automotive industries, and they all purchase Zeiss measuring machines to make sure that parts in the production, parts being produced, have the perfect quality and and match the standard measurements and everything that needs. So to give you a better example, I am going to tell you the story about Lucas. So Lucas was a teenager with 19 years, like a young person at 19 years old, when unfortunately he suffered a severe accident and ended up losing one of his legs. And he was, of course, like any young people would think, oh my gosh, my life is over, what can I do without one leg and everything. So he was very upset about it. But like the prosthesis manufacturer came to him and said, no, you know what? I'm going to solve this problem for you. I'm going to use Zeiss measuring machines to make sure that you get the perfectly fitting prosthesis that you need so that you can have a happy and nice life afterwards. And that's what they did. They were able to use Zeiss measuring machines to make sure that this prosthesis was perfectly fitting for his leg. And nowadays, he's like 30 years old, living a happy life, happy, normal life. So, but about the real project, what we'll be working on the next couple of months, we work with AR, so augmented reality. I'm sure everyone is excited right now because augmented reality is very cool. So, exactly, to explain you the problem statement, I brought one of our Zeiss standards personas, which is Bert. Bert is our quality manager, and in his daily life, he has to make sure that our measurements are being conducted right and good, so like we don't have any measurements out of tolerance, for example. And that he does for multiple measuring labs, which are sometimes even kilometers far away from each other. So because of that, he has to walk daily kilometers, or he has to explain his production manager, for example, why one of the parts is out of tolerance, for example, or anything like that. And this explanation is very hard if the production manager doesn't have the knowledge necessary, for example, or if he doesn't have the part in front of him. And that's exactly what we want to solve with our new solution that you guys hopefully can develop for us. We want to have an app with augmented reality where the user, like where Bert can project this part, exactly this part in front of him in real life. So like, for example, over the table, and he can get a look at this part, see what's the problem, analyze it, control the data points, measurements, and so on. So now he would be able to go to his production manager, for example, and show it to him in real life how the part is looking like and explain it better, and doesn't have to have difficulties in the communication with him. And he also doesn't have to go to every measuring lab to see the part and the problems with the measurements, because he can just open the app, project it in front of him, and get the insight about it. So yeah, to do that, we divided up our project in 3 milestones, 3 very challenging milestones. The first one would be to project the CAD model into the real life, into the real world, so like on top of the table and so on. The second milestone would be to project it, but also to put the data flags on top of the part. So we would be able to analyze the data points measured for this specific part directly on top of the projected part. And lastly, the more challenging one is to show the color differences for deviations. So if we have a measurement, the first measurement in comparison with the last measurements, what's the color difference? What we got for differences in the measurements. And exactly, so what we expect from this project is, of course, at the end, a very cool MVP, which I can tell you guys right now, it's going to be a challenge because we want to make this MVP a product at the end. We are aiming to make this MVP a sold product at Zeiss, so a lot of pressure for you. And we also want to find a lot of talents, motivated students that want to work hard for our project or work hard with Zeiss. And also, last but not least, great teamwork. So for that, we want to be able to make sure that our students get the opportunity to meet our development team in Dresden, for example, or to go visit us in the Control Show, which is a metrology show happening in a couple of days in Stuttgart. So we're very happy to get very motivated students working for us in the next couple of months, and I'm happy to answer your questions afterwards for the project as well, me and Matthias. So thank you so much.